Hello everyone, we are live. We're live. I'm gonna give everyone a second to tune in here. I sent out a lot of notifications, kind of letting everyone know when I was gonna be on here, what we're gonna be talking about. So I'm gonna give a second for everyone to hop on. Hi Rickas, hi Creative Memories. If I haven't met you or talked to you before, feel free to introduce yourself, tell me where you're from and all of the things, and we're gonna get started pretty soon. So I drank my hot apple cider. That's why I'm like a tiny bit late, because I like needed this apple cider in my hands. Like the coziness of fall, I'm like falling in love with this season. I used to never like it before for some reason, but I'm loving it now. I don't know what it is. It's like the coziness and the colors and all of the things. You know, it is what you make it. It is the perspective that you give out. Oh, the UK, that is so amazing. Hi, Empowerful Living. Hi, Majesta. Hi, Chris Wright. I think I know you. I think you're Allison's dad, right? Hi, everyone. Okay, so now that everyone's kind of hopping on, I'm going to post this as well so you guys can catch the replay. Hi, Destiny. I'm so happy you're on here. Okay, so let's get to it then. So as the title says, hi, Blue Rabbit. This is the free masterclass, Worthiness and Your Desires. I know that it's not a short title by any means, but I couldn't put it in a more concise way. And I am just so inspired to talk about all these topics today because it really stems from a lot of learning that I personally have gone through within this year. You know, this year, I don't want to say that it's been difficult. I don't want to say that it's been rough, because all over the place we see this, you know. I see this all the time in commercials, online, everywhere, like, oh, these are some tough times. These are some difficult times we're in, and I hate that because it literally just over and over and over again just like instills in your mind that you should be stressed out, that you should be having a rough time, and you always get what you expect, you get what you believe. So I'm not for that. But regardless, hi Khaled, regardless of that, these are different times. They're different, you know, you can't deny that for sure. And the thing that's come within this time really is, you know, we normally have all these distractions to distract our mind. We have all these things that we can do whenever we're bored, which I think a lot comes from just like not wanting to deal with your own mind. We can run from it really easily. We can go to dinner, we can go to this party, we can go with these friends, we can go to this place, we can go shopping, we can go on this adventure, we can do like thousands of things. And that is like beginning to be really limited. And because of that, during this time, there's been so many people that are either just diving into the spiritual realm and diving into personal development, or running for the hills and not doing anything and everything that they possibly can to ignore the emotions that are coming up in their lives. And the thing is that's what most people do. Most people, when they're, you know, sitting around, they can't distract their minds, they can't meditate, you know, because all these things come up and they don't want to face them. They don't want to face the emotional trauma. They don't want to face the subconscious stories. They get scared about it. They don't want to, a lot of spiritual bypassing, right? Which is basically like, just think positive. Don't put a negative thought out there. Just think positive all the time. And, you know, I'm not for that. I'm for, you have to face your emotions head on, or else they're going to continue to come up. They're going to linger in the subconscious mind, and they're going to dictate your reality. They're going to dictate your decisions, whether you recognize it or not. They are deeply in your subconscious, in your mind. And so when these come up, a lot of people run for the hills. Like I said, they run, they distract themselves, they buy things, they drink, so many other addictions. So, play video games, watch movies, anything, social media binging, anything that they can. And I've been there, and that's exactly why I'm here teaching this, is because this has allowed us to go from this much distractions, if you can see it, to like this much. There's not as many there, and that's intimidating. And I want to give you guys props for being here, because like I said, a lot of people don't want to deal with these issues, and you're here recognizing that maybe there's internal issues, maybe there's emotional things going on in your mind and you want to face them head on, find out where they come from, why they exist, and able to heal them so they don't come up again, so that you can keep moving. Because this is what also we can call blocks, manifestation blocks, a feeling that you have based off a subconscious story from the past that you never healed. And every time it comes up, it gets uncomfortable. And our ego doesn't like to get uncomfortable. It likes to keep us stagnant, likes to keep us safe, likes to keep us comfortable. And the thing is we are addicted to those emotions. And this is why this is so relevant right now, because of this stagnance, not physically, but mentally. Because of this stagnance, we even more so are addicted to our behaviors, addicted to our emotions. And what I mean by this is if you feed, this is on a scientific level, neurologically, if you feed your brain this certain chemical, this certain emotion over and over and over again, then it becomes addicted to it, just like anything else. Anything you do repetitively all of the time, you're feeding your brain that chemical, that emotion, it's going to crave it, it's going to want it, it's going to feed off of it, it's going to sit there and sulk inside of that repetitive emotion. So no matter what that is for you right now, whether it's laziness, whether it's loneliness, whether it's guilt or worry or stress or whatever the negative emotions that are coming in and seeming to be, addicted to, it's hard to get out of that. Just like anything else. Dumping into the gym and going every single day all of a sudden when your body's not used to that, it's going to be hard to continue to stick to doing so. It's just like that when it comes to the emotions that you feed your mind, when you feed your brain. When you're having a bad day and you, wake up and stub your toe and then you burn your pancakes and then you go do this other thing and this other thing happens. Your mind's just stuck in this state, this chemical state of, what would you call that? Just irritation, right? Yeah, anger, irritation, whatever it is. It's stuck there. It's soaking in those emotions. And to actively choose an elevated state, an elevated emotion, that is emotional intelligence. Something we're really going to talk about here. That is emotional intelligence. When it feels uncomfortable to choose a different state, because you know what I mean. I've been there, you've been there, when you're sitting there and you've have all these experiences going on and you actively choose a different state to be in. You're like, okay, I'm going to choose to not let any of this get to me and I'm going to choose joy and happiness and really do it. It's not easy. It's not easy, but the more that you do it, the better you get at it. That's emotional intelligence. Understanding that your emotions create your vibration, your frequency. Your frequency creates your reality. It's like the magnetic wave that you're giving off in your body. We're all made up of energy. None of this stuff you can deny. All this stuff is facts. This emotion that you're feeding yourself, that you're continuing to do so, and the more that you do it, the more you steep down. And the more that you seek out an elevated state and continue to do so, the more you steep up. And the more that you continue to bring in that same frequency level into your reality. It's a choice. It's a choice to pick an elevated state, no matter how hard or uncomfortable that it is. That is emotional intelligence. And so during this time, this is the best time to be knowledgeable about something like this. To know that the mood that you're in, the emotion that you're feeling, knowing it in the moment, this is creating my reality. This is the frequency I'm giving. This is what I'm going to create due to these thoughts. And choosing an elevated one consistently. And soon it'll be a habit. Soon it'll be something easy. Soon that elevated state will just be your normal state of being. That's emotional intelligence. I want to know if any of you guys have came across any emotions during this time, have came across any feelings during this time that have been this, hi Elaine, I can't ignore your hearts right there, but an emotion that has been able to kind of seep into your mind, seep into your subconscious and become this emotional addiction in any sort of way. I want you to open up and be honest, and if you have any thoughts of what that is for you, it's so easy to stay in that stagnant energy, so easy to cave into addiction, just like it is in anything else, emotions as well. And I want to know if you have any of those going on for you. And I really don't want you to be shy. I am a totally interactive person when it comes to free masterclasses, and I want to know. Oh my god, you see my filter messing up when I do that? Another reason why I want to bring this up, as you guys maybe are thinking about that, doing some deep reflection on that, is the thing is, like, another thing that a lot of people are turning to during this time as well to distract their minds from the emotions that they don't want to bring up, the subconscious stories that they don't want to bring up, is social media. Turning to social media in a lot of ways to distract yourself, because it's there, right? And it's like this filtered way of seeing other people's lives. And the thing is, and this is why the worthiness is huge here, and this is why worthiness is like the first word in this masterclass, is because there's so many perceptions of what success looks like out there on the internet. Tons and tons and tons. And the thing is you have a very unique place in this world for success, a very unique place in this world to connect with people, to give your services in some sort of way. But when you have someone that you aspire to, and many of us do, and it's amazing to aspire to people, to have somebody to motivate you, to keep you, aligned and stuff like that. But when it becomes a sort of way that you create this belief that that's what success looks like, that this person that wakes up at 5 a.m. and goes to the gym and eats acai bowls and freaking works on her computer all day and takes these stunning photos and eats kale and I don't know, is doing all these crazy things, doing these photos, just doing massive stuff. And if you're not doing all of those things, it hits your ego hard. And it makes you believe that you're not being the version of success that you believe is what success is, if that makes sense. And it sabotages that relationship. It sabotages the vibration that you're giving off, because the vibration is what matters here. It doesn't matter what you are doing. The masculine energy always comes when you are in feminine and masculine balance. It matters who you're being on the other side of those masculine actions. Where your vibration's at, where your certainty's at, where your state of being is at. So if you are literally just, I don't know, if you were having a Netflix night, if you are, I don't know, taking a nap or just doing something that your body is telling you to do, maybe you need rest, maybe you need to just, you need to do this thing. Oh, thank you so much. If you know that you need, your body needs rest. This is a big thing that I feel when it comes to yin and yang. I teach moon manifesting. So a lot of the times when you are, in the phases of the moon that were called for action, and then you're in the phases of the moon that call for rest, we feel guilty for resting. We sabotage the vibration because of the resting period, when it's just as important as the masculine energy. You can work on the website, you can work on the graphics, you can work on going to the gym, and you can work on, all of the things. And if you don't have that balance of worthiness on the other side, if you don't have that balance of feeling successful on the other side, feeling worthy on the other side, that is what creates your success. If you don't feel worthy of success, then it'll show. It'll show in your work. It'll show in the energy that you give. Hi, Christina. Good. That's good. You have a lot of energy. But the feelings of worthiness on the other side. Do you feel worthy? Truly feel worthy? And, when this topic first came up for me, I didn't quite understand it. I was like, of course I'm worthy. Why wouldn't I be worthy? And I do so much, thoughts, deep internal work, that emotional work that a lot of people run away from. If you know what I'm talking about, what I was talking about in the beginning of this, when you run away from that emotional work that you don't want to do, and you dig deeper and you find out why it is that you feel that way, you'll find so much of it has to do with worthiness right now in this social media world where we're shown what success is, when we're shown what, perfection is in all these other ways. You could quite literally, like I was saying, be having a movie night, you could be having a nap, you could be doing all of these things, and if you feel worthy on the other side, if you know you are successful to your being, and you know you can call in your success at any time, then you will, because you get what you expect. You get what you believe. What you believe to your core will create your reality. The vibration, the emotion that you have. I totally believe in investing in yourself in every point. Even coaches need coaches. The last coach that I had talked about literally sitting around and playing video games for a week and making like $80,000 because she knows she's worthy. It's not a question. The person that you aspire to, whether it's me, whether it's some other person on the internet, the way that they're doing it, that's not your version of success. You have a very unique version of success, and once you're aligned with that, that's when you break through on the other side. That's when you attract all the people that have been waiting for you to find that worthiness within yourself and been able to put out the work that you've been wanting to do to clear that block. Because it can only go in so many directions if you're trying to be like another version of someone else. And it's a deeply ingrained thing that a lot of us will not know that we're doing unless we go in and do the internal work. I've also been healing the mother's wound, and I feel like it comes from it. What do you mean the mother's wound? Is that like a phrase for something? But I mean, that makes me think about, like while you think about what exactly that means in a way I can understand. Our subconscious stories come from childhood a lot of times. And we never go back and deal with them a lot of the times as well. Things that you were told with repetition, things that like you believe at core, at a belief system because it's been told to you a million times. And this happens from childhood. Like the biggest thing, and it's so hard for me to talk about this because no, I don't have children. So I can't, tell you how to parent your children. No. But I do know how the subconscious mind works. And when you tell children multiple times at an age between 0 and 7, and even beyond that, our minds are just soaking in everything. We're like a walking subconscious mind. And if you continue to tell your kids something like, I don't know, you don't always get what you want. That's a big one. That's a big one that's always like said to kids. And I mean, believe me, I don't know what I would do if a kid was like wanting unicorns and sparkles and butterflies and just like toys and Barbie dolls, and like what I would say. But when you continue to say like you don't always get what you want, like you don't always get what you want consistently, then your mind, when you're 30 years old, if you never went back and healed it, will continue to tell itself and continue to believe that you don't always get what you want. Or that success has to be hard. That's another one. You have to work really hard to be successful. I find this all over the place. It's hard. It's really hard. You gotta work really hard. You gotta grind. You gotta hustle. You gotta like wake up at 5 a.m. and get your shit done and then like stay up till 1 o'clock at night. I don't know about you, but that sounds exhausting. But if you believe it, then it'll be true. If you believe that that's what you need to be successful, then that'll be the only way to be successful. If you believe it to your core. But if you can instill a new belief that you are worthy as you are, that you can bring in success, because success, abundance, and worthiness is your natural state, and you can call it in like a magnet, then that will be true. You see how differently like the frequency levels are there? Like if you feel like you have to hustle, grind, work so hard, wake up early, go to bed late, like you're like... Just be yourself in the most authentic way you possibly can. Radiate that energy as much as you possibly can. Know that you're worthy as you are no matter what you're doing. Granted, don't sit around and be lazy and eat donuts all day and just Netflix binge and like don't do anything for your business or whatever it is, because it doesn't work like that. There is a law of the universe that's also called the law of aligned action. That is a part of it that comes with the balance of yin and yang, with rest and action, with worthiness and action. Doing the internal work and doing the action. There's so much guilt built around resting. We're so easily can mark off like just not doing the internal work, not doing the journaling, not doing the meditation, not doing the like whatever it is. That's the last thing that you need to like do in your life. Like, that's what a lot of people's perspectives are. That instead you should be hustling, you should be grinding, you should be doing all of these things to achieve success. And that leads you so far. And you get to this ending point where there's like nothing else and you've done everything. And you're just like, what else could I possibly do? My website is so amazing. My graphics look great. I hired this person and that person and I have the modules and this and that. And it's because like internally you're hustling so hard to distract your mind from the thought and the emotion that maybe you don't think you're worthy of it. And you never address that. That maybe you never addressed the thought that happened when you were 7 years old, when your parents consistently told you that success has to be hard, so you made it hard. Or that you don't always get what you want, so you still don't think that you can get what you want. I'm gonna go back into some of these comments. Oh, thanks, TJ. Oh yeah, like this, you have to become your own mother. That makes sense. And love yourself unconditionally. There are a lot of studies about that. Assuming the trauma of your mother and not feeling worthy. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm trying to scroll down here. I can't control this screen right now. We become so much like our parents, not necessarily because of genes. And I can go so far into that, literally, because like our genes don't necessarily make up who, like our genes have to be activated with a chemical, an emotional chemical of some sort to like activate. And that's a whole other topic in itself. But we don't become like our parents because of that. We become like our parents because we are fed their belief system. And we don't need to believe what anyone else believes. And when you choose to think something different, to think something out of the norm, common belief systems are, like I said, you don't always get what you want. Success is really hard. You know, a big one that I talk about in the abundance frequency is like, you know, money is evil, or you have to work really hard to, you know, make money. That's a big one. And because you think so, it's exactly why it'll continue to be hard to do so. What if you were told from birth, just from birth, that you were just worthy as you were? You know? Not that you had to be better. Not that you had to work harder. That you taking your time. Like, my sister, her son was like last year or something, got told by a teacher that basically he got behind in projects because he took too much time on them and he fell behind, and that was like a bad thing. Like, how early do we learn in life that we need to hustle, grind, hurry. Don't give things too much thought. Just keep your mind busy and keep going. Like, literally, he's like 6. He was like 5 at the time. When we just sit with ourselves and sit with our minds, it can get really uncomfortable. Things can come up that you don't want to face. Hide the tears. You could just cry and have no clue why you're crying, and it feels better. We're humans. It's what we're supposed to do. Talk about it. Feel it. Understand where it comes from. And heal it so that it doesn't dictate your life anymore subconsciously. The subconscious is creating your reality, okay? Our subconscious is like these memorized feelings, these memorized emotions, these memorized actions that we do throughout all of our days without even thinking, without even being conscious of it. Emotional intelligence, like I was speaking of before, is waking up from that. Shaking up your brain and doing something uncomfortable and different that shakes you from the stagnance. Choosing a different emotion. Choosing an elevated state to bring in more opportunities for elevated states of being and mind. Is anything coming up for you guys for this? Anything at all? And we can totally address this during this call. Hi, Batam. But I want to address these things. I truly do. Thing is your success, like I said, is not like anyone else's. It's not. There's do a social media cleanse. I was actually thinking about doing this, and I might, besides things that I have to post for my business and such, but just totally just detoxing from all of these perceptions of what success is and what you think you should be doing. Because if you feel it repetitively, like we said, you're becoming emotionally attached, becoming I'm trying to get you out of your... There you go. Becoming emotionally addicted to those thoughts, I lost my track there. I was getting Batan out of my video because he was being weird. But that is emotional intelligence. Choosing an elevated state, even though you're addicted to your current state. Just like working out your muscles, even though you haven't worked them out for years. Think about this. We're living unconsciously throughout all of our days, almost completely unconsciously. Why? Because we have this memorized state of being, these memorized actions, these memorized thoughts, these memorized emotions that guide our entire reality, that guide our entire lives. They're all memorized. They're all familiar. You wake up in the morning and you're familiar with your work. You're familiar with your drive to work. You're familiar with the things you gotta do. You're familiar with your workout. You're familiar with this. You don't have to consciously be awake and able to live that reality. Emotional intelligence is recognizing this and choosing an elevated state. Choosing another physical or emotional tough thing to do. Emotional toughness. That keeps you present. That keeps you awake. Keeps you conscious. Hi, Taylor. We're kind of tuning in at the end here, but there will be a recording where we talk about your emotions creating your frequency, and your frequency creating your reality. See, this bases off the universal law, the law of vibration. Basically, the understanding that your emotions, like I said, create that vibration within you, and that vibration has an energetic match out here in the world. Looking around you in your reality that you're currently in and recognizing that that is the current vibrational state that you're in, aka the current emotional state that you're in. So if you look around and you want to choose something different, I want you to know that's literally just a decision away. And I know that, oh my God, I know that can sound so cliche, can sound way too easy. But you know what? The more that I've grown within this field, the more that I've recognized that is quite utterly the truth. I was actually in my closing call for the abundance frequency the other day. I tried to describe certainty in the best way I could, and I got this download. And that was basically that certainty is built by a powerful decision. And a lot of times we don't want to make a powerful decision because we have to hold ourselves accountable. If we say, okay, I am going to choose to be my highest self, my best self every single damn day. And that's awesome. Do it. Do it ritualistically. Like, sit down and like be intentional about that thought. Don't just have a like side thought and be like, I'm going to do this, because that's not going to be intentional. That's not going to like instill that fire in you. But a lot of us don't want to do that. And you want to know why? Because we have to hold ourselves accountable to doing it. We don't want to do it because, like, what if we want to have a bad day? What if we want to just like sulk? What if we just want to cry? What if we just want to be negative? What if we just want to bitch about something? What if we just want to gossip? We don't want to hold ourselves accountable to not doing that. We want to like leave the door open for like slacking off in some way, just in case we do. And because we do that, it's so much easier to do it. Like if you told yourself like, I'm gonna do this diet, but I don't know, like not committing to like a diet or something. Being like, I'm gonna eat healthy. I don't really know what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna eat healthy. Because you never had a plan, because you never set an intention, because you never like lit a fire in you to actually get you passionate about that thought, that decision, it's not gonna fall through. It's just like people could argue this one, but I would say, just like saying like, I'm gonna go to the gym, I'm gonna work out, I'm gonna start going to the gym again. Then you go there and you have like no fucking clue what you're doing. You don't even know how to work the machines. You don't even know like how to work out. Like you just like go on the treadmill for 20 minutes and then you're like, well, I don't know how to do all this stuff. And I look like a dumbass in here not knowing how to work all this stuff. This is the same scenario. Make a plan, make the decision. Hold yourself accountable for that decision. It takes discipline, mental discipline for this, not for the gym. That's physical discipline. But mental discipline, mental toughness. I just burped a little. Shaking yourself up to awake yourself is the most powerful decision that you will ever make, but you have to be committed. And I'm not going to tell you that there is a time to be ready, because there's not. I truly believe that readiness is a decision. It's a choice. If you're diving into something new, of course you're not going to be ready for it. You don't know what to expect. Nobody ever does when they're starting something new. You have to go through all the emotional work that goes into it. Let me tell you, entrepreneurship, working for yourself in any sort of way, so much, how can I say this? So much shadow work is involved in the process. Because you have to get over the subconscious stories that success has to be hard, that money has to be hard, that, you don't always get what you want. You have to get over so many subconscious stories that you were fed since childhood. So many subconscious stories that you see regularly around you in society that are fed to you all of the time. Your vibration, your frequency, your emotions become very important. And like I said, there's a balance. You'll hit a wall if you continue to do the masculine action and not do the internal work, not do the worthiness work. You are worthy as you are. Think about working on a website. This is just something super tactical, right? So you're working on a website, but you're really stressed out and you got to get it done in a certain amount of time, and you got to, you're worried about this color, and you're also like sidetracking off about this client that didn't sign with you, and you're kind of just in this is the energy you're in. It's the frequency you're giving. You just infused that task with a negative energy. Do you expect to get a positive response? A positive energy back? Did you expect to? It's not about what you're doing, it's about who you're being on the other side. It's about the level of certainty, the level of worthiness. I know people that literally don't even have websites that are millionaires. It's nuts. It is the worthiness factor. Hi, Mary. Is this ringing any bells here? I hear too often, and I love people that talk about this. It doesn't have to do with them, but I hear too often, so much preaching on the masculine action, so much of like how to talk to your clients in the DMs, so much about, you know, how to pick your fonts for your designs, how to pick your, you know, your business colors or color scheme on your website, how to, you know, niche down and be so specific on your Instagram thing. All of these masculine energy tasks, all of these tactical things. But if you don't feel worthy, if you don't feel certain that you're gonna get somebody into like your program, if you like put this program out there and you don't really expect that you're gonna get anybody, so you don't really prepare, you don't really like make the modules, you don't really like reach out to people, you just kind of put it out there because it makes you do the masculine action, it makes you feel successful because you like went out and did the thing, but you don't expect anything. Because like I said, you can keep going down and down, more internal work, find out that it's because you don't feel worthy of it in some sort of way is often what I found. That's why that is a big topic in this masterclass. But if you have those feelings going on behind it, no one's going to sign up. You get what you expect. You get what you believe to your core. I'm going to share this again because I love this story. A past client of mine, I'm not going to say her name. I must go, thank you. Oh, it's okay, you can catch the rest of the replay for Christina. I have something super excited at the end, so. But my client had a past story that happened to her. She like worked at a women's clinic, and this girl was like kind of mentally not all there, something, she had gotten a car accident, she was, you know, something is wrong with her brain. And she was like in prison for like a year and a half at this point when she started saying these things. She was so convinced that she was pregnant. Like she said she was pregnant. Like, why wouldn't anybody believe her? She was freaking pregnant. Listen to me, I'm pregnant. She just like, it wasn't a joke. She internally believed to her core she was pregnant. Like in her mind, she was pregnant. They did pregnancy tests. They did a bunch of stuff. They were like, no, you're not pregnant. They all came back negative. And because she believed this so much to her core as a truth, her belly started to grow like a pregnant woman's would, like bump and all. My client experienced this. And she like got morning sickness. Her period stopped, all the things. Because she believed so deeply as a truth, as a fact, that it was true. The world, the reality around you, the energy around you responds to your belief systems, negative or positive, or whatever it is. Certainty is created in the decision, in discipline, powerful decision making. And you will face the mental challenges along the way. So I think that's it. I kept thinking that I was done forever ago, but I wasn't. But I think that's it. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and let me know. But I have something super exciting that I'm announcing. You guys are the first. Actually, I said it in a podcast on accident the other day. Not really on accident. I just like did it, and then I like told you guys about, you know, whatever. But I am launching a 3-day crash course called Elevate and Embody. And I'm just so freaking excited for it because we're going to dive into all of these topics way more in depth and way more individualized, way more integrating, way more of making you make the decision and acting and embodying and getting aligned with your desires again. Because this different time that we're in right now, you become emotionally addicted to your behaviors, and this is meant to shake and awake you and get you aligned back with what you actually want to believe, back with what your desires really are, understanding where they come from and how you are worthy, your worthiness standards within that. Getting energetically aligned with it, being an energetic match to it, getting your frequency back up to where that desire is, working with me on the entire thing. So it's a 3-day intensive crash course. Elevate and Embody. Literally about elevating your energy and embodying that energy to magnetize that energy. Understanding emotional intelligence to its finest and mastering your mind in that way. Being able to flip the script, to be able to have emotional intelligence, choose an elevated state, to bring in an elevated state. Working on your mind is like the biggest investment you could possibly have, and what I do have to say is to bet on yourself. Like I said, it's the same concept here, like in investing a course and investing something for yourself. A lot of people, what turns people away a lot of the times is literally just the fact that they don't want to bet on themselves. They don't want to be accountable for themselves and their success. And if you bet on yourself and you know your success is inevitable, and you expect that, then that's what you will receive. I'm giving you all of the tools to be able to flip that script if you are still stuck in that emotional state of not believing that in this 3-day crash course. So I'm going to put that in the link in my bio that you guys can enroll there. You can also just DM me and send me any questions that you guys have too, because I'm totally open for, anything that you got to say to me about the subject. I'm super excited for it. I think I'm going to do it next week or the week after. So yeah, if you got any questions, just let me know. The link is in my bio. It's only $222, which is nuts because I sell my 2-week moon manifestation course for $333, my 2-week moon manifestation course. But I just think that this topic is so needed right now. It is so relevant. And 2021 is coming and it's not waiting for anyone. And I feel I don't want you to be the person that sits around and waits for the new year to actually start partaking, because I want you to know that the more you find excuses to wait, or the more that you choose to wait, the more you will have more reasons to wait. So keep coming your way, because you're in the waiting, you're in the stagnance. This is meant to shake and awake you. So I hope to see you guys inside. Elevate and Embody. This is the first time I've ran it, and like I said, I like to teach things in the moment when they're relevant to me, when I'm passionate and fired up about the subject, and I'm coming from a place of, being able to relate and from genuine just understanding and love. So I hope to see you guys in there. Send me a DM or enroll in the bio. I hope you guys like this masterclass. If you're watching the replay, you can still comment about, anything that happens within this, then I can still address your questions. And yes, all right. Have an awesome rest of your Wednesday, guys.